Tonight, we honor the inspiring path of architect Ashwin Lovekar sir and architect Anjali Lovekar ma'am. Theirs is a journey shaped not only by remarkable design and thoughtful details, but also by warm, deep rooted relationships and that unmistakable human touch that defines truly great architecture. Because, as we all know, beyond the drawings and the buildings, it is the personality, the vision, and the spirit of the architect that truly brings the space to life. To unfold this beautiful journey for us, we could not have asked for a better individuals, two people who have known them closely and shared both a professional and personal association with them for over a decade. In fact, these two have been quietly playing an important role behind the scenes of this very evening. From conceptualizing this event to helping us envision how it should unfold. And they have been our constant guides. To everyone who knows them, also know that they bring clarity, a wonderful sense of humor, and incredible energy wherever they go. Please join me in welcoming architect Tushar Kothawde and interior designer Chiranjeevi Lukkad ma'am. They will now take us into their life between the lines, a celebration of 3 decades of LDA Design Associates.
Good evening, everyone. I am nervous. I think Chi is also equally nervous. These are moments which you have never imagined to be on the stage, probably trying to ask questions to a couple who have always asked you questions to be on the right path. Today is absolutely a special day for both of us. I think architect Ashwin Lovekar and Anju Lovekar have been a crucial part of our journey over the past decade and a half. They have been our friends, philosophers, guides. I fondly call Ashwin sir as my elder brother. And the relation that we share, I think the interactions that we've had over the years, right from the first day, I think, when we had gone to them, showing some of the projects that we had done. From that point to meeting them at juries and awards, and then later traveling with them. Now they are family to us. And today marks a very important day in their lives, I think, as well as our lives. And I think to begin this, let's not waste any more time. We will make sure that we ask them some questions which are easy, some questions which are not so easy. We will try and keep this very informal at some point in time. And we will make sure that we all, at the end of this day, have a good takeaway to go back home, look back at our own journeys individually, wherever we are practicing, whatever we are doing, and probably just to realign ourselves, because today is going to be a night of wisdom sharing. And now I hand over the mic to Chi, where she would do the further introductions.
Hello. Yeah. 40 years of togetherness, 35 years of LDA, 32 national and international awards, 100 plus noted publications, 750 plus incredible number of projects, and along the way, countless friends and well-wishers. Between these lines, the beautiful story of architect Ashwin and Anjali Lovekar. Every meaningful journey is defined not just by its milestone, but by the experience, relations, and the moment that shape it. Let us now delve into their story through the eyes of Khushi Lovekar, who has known them closely as a couple, as architects, and as personalities behind the profession, their daughter. Can we play the AV, please?
A bindas Mumbai girl meets a shy, broody young boy who has left his home in Hyderabad to follow his dream of studying architecture in Mumbai. Poles apart in their nature and attitude towards life. Him coming from a lineage of art, architecture, and literature. A total introvert, drawn into his own world of exploring architecture. Happy with his cup of chai and cigarettes, ghazals, and selective friends. Her, a medicine aspirant, brilliant in her studies and everything she undertook, who meandered into the field of architecture thanks to some friendly advice. Bright, happy, vivacious, and talkative, fond of pop music, with a huge circle of friends. They started working together in the fourth year of architecture, he for the extra money, and she for the extra time spent learning with him about him. They decided to get married after graduation, practically broke and lost, but with dreams, aspirations, and the willpower to enter into a three-legged race, as I calls it fondly. Pune was accidental, a chance conversation with architect Vishwas Lele sir in his Mumbai office, where I worked as an intern. In his words, he wrote on her 50th birthday, "There are just about a handful of interns who, besides being punctual, dutiful, obedient, and perceptive, continue educating themselves with real life experiences, and there are fewer architects who are fortunate to have worked with such interns." He suggested they try shifting to Pune, which was a fast growing city then. I would get a transfer to the Pune office. A quick handwritten recommendation to architect Hari Agashe sir landed a job for Baba too, and thus started the Pune Odyssey. Pune was an entirely new experience, a new city, new friendships, new work culture, with days that passed by at an unhurried pace, leaving lots of time to explore the city on their new two-wheeler with newfound friends. Their career took off slowly, with odd jobs here and there. Not having many contacts in this new city, getting work was a big challenge. Senior architects Vishwas Lele and Shrikant Nivsarkar mentored them, helping them in the initial stages of their career and inducting them in Triple ID Pune, giving them a platform. This platform induced a great sense of camaraderie with fellow designers, which continues to this date. Initial clients who trusted them with their projects played a huge role in turning the design language into a user-centric one. Some went on to become the best of friends and confidants, enriching their life till date, and even being catalytic in the most important addition in their life, me. My entry into their lives in the year 2000 did change the dynamics in a big way. Especially for I, whose routine revolved around my schedule until I was old enough to accompany them to their sites. Baby bags full of food, clothes, toys, and coloring books became an additional feature, as being on sites was my favorite getaway too. I grew up on LDA sites, so it's surprising that I didn't follow in their footsteps. Observing their work over the years has unknowingly fostered meaningful values inside me as a person as well as a professional. A house of three creative souls, where work isn't just work, it is worship. Ai Baba have always shown integrity in their work, and that is something I truly admire about them. A career full of ups and downs, both personal and professional, I have seen them working every single day with just as much passion. When they aren't working, they have a constant drive to learn about everything else in life. Even at this age, they both have curious minds like they must have had when they stepped into JJ. Built on a foundation of passion, integrity, resilience, conviction, and consistency, LDA began a journey that soon started gaining recognition and continues to do so.
Actually, most of us have partnerships, whether it's a husband-wife partnership or a two generations partnership or just two friends coming together and working. And in a partnership, I think it is very important to define your roles and responsibilities. So between both of y'all, since you all are partners at home as well as in the office, how do you define your roles? Is there a strict line drawn between your work, or it somehow merges with each other.
So somewhere we do have to draw a middle ground, but initially we used to fight a lot. But then we only realized that it is the client who has to finally benefit out of whatever we are trying to give them. It's always for the betterment and the best of the project that we have to come to terms with certain things. So I think I'm a person with a larger picture, and eventually Ashwin takes over to fine-tune everything and hand over the project.
You also have the same opinion?
Yeah, I mean,
Ashwin sir, before you move ahead, you can disagree. I will drop you home.
yeah, I know, but there are points where when one tends to agree also, and fortunately or unfortunately, so
Thank you.
This is one of those where we agree on that, and these things are primarily decided a lot on the basis of your initial days when you start off as an architect. I have been working in interiors probably right since the second year of architecture. When we were studying in JJ, we had this practice of especially the hostelites, where we used to go and work with some architectural firm after college, which was primarily to earn more money. And by the way, we got a good amount of experience as well. And fortunately for me, I worked with firms did a lot of practice in interior design. And my inclination too was more towards detailing, as she said, and more towards the micro planning of each and everything. And so my individual design ideology also developed in that way, where I did a lot of micro designing. Detailing was my USP always, where she has worked on larger architectural projects. So the way of looking at the project definitely changed. But so initially when we started, the scale that we work in interior design is 1/8 of an inch. And she said, why are you wasting your time doing drawings on 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch?
For me,
Whereas
1/8
she
inch
was-
of an 1/8 inch wasn't even an error.
while she was working on large projects with Vishwas Lele sir, where I think Deepak Fertilizers was what, 2 lakh square feet, sir?
100
2
meter
to 2.5
building.
lakh square feet. And I was designing a small center table. So you see the difference in the scale. And so the way of looking at design itself is very different when you've worked on two such contradictory or diametrically opposite kind of scales of design. You finally end up doing the same thing, sitting in the same office. But over the years, there's a table in office where we call it the place where we sit and fight.
Filtered down to me, even as an intern, were huge, really huge blueprints. So when we started together and I saw Ashwin working on 1/8 and 1/16 of an inch, I was surprised. This doesn't even come into my real realm, you know. I don't even think of 1/16. But yeah, eventually I learned that.
But now after 3 decades, have you ever thought of a role reversal in any of the projects?
Well, I still get the jitters when I see structural drawings. I was telling this to somebody else recently, we did a large project for MIT and we used to have these huge structural drawings coming in, and I still used to get the jitters. The moment I opened those drawings, I used to feel like running away, and she was good at that. So I am not sure I want to do a role reversal. I'm happy doing my micro detailing and detailing for smaller things. Being a simple man is easier than being a person who does large buildings.
Point taken.
Yeah, anything bigger than 3/4 inch comes into my box.
Yes, so moving ahead, let's get to know the architects behind designs. But not through drawings, through the instinctive choices that you all make right away. Let's play a quick game. So, yeah, Tushar, please give the cards.
Oh,
I told you last minute paper change झाला है.
हा पेपर नव्हता लीक झाला.
So I will be asking some short questions, 2 contrasting options, and you both have to pick any one. No overthinking, no discussion, and to make it more fun, you all don't see each other's answers. Okay, let the audience maintain the score. So we start with the options. A, early riser. B, night owl.
Early riser.
Ma'am, you can show the A.
A. Okay.
Okay. So this for
So-
sure
so
is
we
going to
have
be
to-
very interesting.
We have to tell about each other or just us?
No,
Yourself.
just show the cards.
Your own self.
Your own self.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Concept first or sight first?
Concept first or sight first?
Concept first or sight first? So you would like to see the site first, or that's okay and you can directly work on the drawing and show the concept?
I think by now it's okay if I don't see the site.
Okay.
I hope somebody's keeping the scores.
Yeah. So different answers already. I'm just loving all of this.
See how much we think in union.
Yeah, totally.
He's a constant B and I'm a constant A.
Minimalism or maximalism?
Yeah. Minimalism.
Okay, I knew that totally.
Totally minimalism.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
It depends on the time, but yeah.
Okay. So, black outfit or colorful outfit?
Color for me.
Yeah, I think black.
Oh,
for
too
me.
much of agreement here. Okay.
No,
You
A
cannot
is-
segregate colors from LDA.
Yeah. Safe design or experimental design? What's your take? Okay. Client brief or designer's instinct?
A designer's instinct.
Designer's instinct.
Okay, so then it's B for both of you all.
B for both of us.
Okay, nice. That's really good going.
In the end, the
Form-
client starts believing our instinct, you know.
Yeah, it's about convincing the client at the end of the day.
No, we'll come to that very soon, whether you have to convince the client or first convince each other.
Yeah.
Yes, so quick decisions or thoughtful pauses?
I take quick decisions.
Okay.
Thoughtful pauses for me.
Form or function? What's more important?
Both, but
Option A is form
yeah.
and function is B. Okay.
A.
Traditional roots or contemporary edge?
Oh, traditional for me.
Okay. Perfection or completion?
Of course, perfection.
Difficult question, but yeah, perfection. I mean, there is nothing like perfection according to me. So,
People,
well,
please have a look. These are like the perfect partners. So,
what happened? What is the score? Sometimes I have shown the edge.
so risk taking or playing safe?
So we do take risks. Yeah.
Risk taking.
Okay.
म्हणजे काय आहे ना?
One leads, one follows, or both lead together. Option 2 is both lead together.
I think one leads, one follows, but depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on project to project. It depends.
Yeah, too much of agreement here. I'm not liking this anymore. Okay, same design taste or totally different perspectives?
Same design taste.
Same design test. See, I mean,
40 years, yeah.
What's wrong? Yeah, I mean, this is
40
like
years of being together. I mean, same design taste.
one soul and two bodies.
so we travel to the same places. I've never traveled on my own to any place outside of India, you know. So I wouldn't know the other perspective.
You should start now.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, work talk at home or no work talk at home?
No work
No,
talk at
no
home.
work talk at home.
At least no, not
This-
for the last.
this is so
not for
difficult
the
to
last,
believe.
Not for the last 25 years.
From my side, I give monosyllabic answers.
Okay.
I mean, I start thinking about architecture at around 11:30, 12 at night. By the time she's already snoring, so it doesn't help. So all my questions go totally unanswered. So effectively, there is no
Our
talk.
cycle is perfect that way. I am off at 10 p.m. I wake up by 6 p.m. And by 10 p.m., I think he comes alive. And I don't know when he wakes up.
Okay. Planning everything or just going with the flow?
I think I know the answer for this.
We plan everything.
Planning everything. At least as far as work is concerned.
Okay. So the last one is from Tushar, but I'm asking this. Instant agreement or debates?
Debates, definitely.
Debates, definitely.
Where? I'm just seeing instant agreements between the two of you all. Where
But
was
that is
the
about
debate?
just holding
taste.
it
That
at
is
the
about
edge.
taste. But at work, definitely there are lots of debates. And I'm
You
sure
can ask the girls.
you can ask the girls. Yeah.
Agreement on stage, debates in the studio.
So there was a
Definitely.
day when we left office, very agitated and very, very angry with each other. And then my office boy, we had no cell phones then. And when my office boy next, he opened the office. And when we came in, there was a gleeful smile on his face. Oh, I thought you wouldn't come back, he said. I thought this was over.
Thankfully, it isn't over as yet. So, but yeah, we've been coming back to the same place every day for the last so many years. So I hope it answers your questions. But wonderful questions. Thank you.
We got to know something about each other.
So, I think you both are very strong individuals and even stronger as personalities. And whether it is work or just in life in general. But like we've mentioned earlier, the works that LDA has been doing also have a very strong design vocabulary. What is it that brings your thoughts together? Have you ever thought of it? What brings you on the same page? Is it only the passion to go out there and work every single day? Or is it something more that drives you? Being an architect or being a designer?
Drives you to go to office every day and work?
Go to office every day and churn out so much work.
I think we're all architects and designers here, and I think we all share the same kind of passion. That's what we are supposed to do, get up in the morning and go to office, and definitely that's what we have studied. We've grown up to do that and give our best. I think we're just doing that, not doing something very, very different. Having said that, for us, when we came to Pune, it was all about survival. As Khushi's video said, we did not have a lot of contacts. We did not have practically any contacts here. So whatever work came our way was a blessing. And it was always a start towards something. So it put us into the habit of, trying to give our best for each and every project that came our way. And then I think eventually these things becomes a habit. So that's what I tell our girls who are probably in their 20s now, is every day when we come to college, we probably still have the excitement and the passion of a young person, of while doing the design, while creating new things. You still feel like a young person, and while doing it, though it has been so many years. And I think that is what takes you ahead, that keeps you going. And that is a must at the end of the day. Unless you have that passion, unless you have that liking and want to do something at every minute, every point of the time, every minute of the day, there can't be a growth. There would be a lot of stagnation and complacence, which is the most dangerous thing for a creative person to have.
Absolutely. So, friends, based on that note, I think let's see another AV, which will now talk about LDA's works and the journey that the firm has seen over the past 3 decades. Can we have the AV, please?
I think, should we get up or?
Ever since I was a child, I remember being fascinated with color. The bright colors on the traditional Indian saris, with their intricate weaves and unusual color combinations, always mesmerized me. Going to the fabric shop with my eye to select a matching blouse piece for our sari was fascinating, as that was the only shop that had the entire range of colors stacked up. The vividly colored traditional pheto of the local tribesmen in Gujarat hand woven caps at local bazaars, the multicolor bangles and clothes worn by the local women all created a lasting impact. As I grew up, the fascination for color continued. This was honed by my intermittent stays at my architect grandfather's seaside house in Mumbai during my school summer holidays. My first exposure to a well designed house with multicolored walls, artifacts, and paintings. His library had books of the works of architects like Gaudi, Louis Barragan, Le Corbusier, and Louis Kahn, which further drew me into the fascinating world of architecture, bold forms, and color. My college projects, while studying architecture at the Sir J.J. College of Architecture, too carried forward the same fascination. Basic design study models, architectural and interior design submissions all had the vibrant use of color, much to the surprise of the design professors. The use of color and bold design compositions became the go-to design language in the subsequent projects of LDA, which became the signature, though the proportions and the palette varied from time to time. Our first awarded project, the IIID MK Award in 1998, carried the same design language. A vibrant one-bedroom apartment for our own selves, it set the ball rolling with its out-of-the-box design ideas and bold appeal. Subsequently, another project, an office for a developer with a similar but toned-down language, won the IIID MK Award in 1999. These two much publicized projects, thanks to the sudden recognition, got in a good amount of work into LDA, with every client wanting to experiment with the new bright and bold design that LDA had to offer. The explorations with bold forms and color continued for about a decade, till we parallelly decided to experiment with monocolor themes and an extensive use of textures. Offices were a perfect subject for such ideas. These experimentations grew in abundance, while the pull towards using color in the projects was equally there. Vernacular architecture and its intricacies was another realm that fascinated us. The modern vernacular was a in between way wherein we explored the nuances of traditional architecture and blended it with a modern design language which we were comfortable with. Exploring different scales of work, typologies, and design languages became the new mantra. Alongside exploring art in different forms, attending and speaking at different academic forums was a fantastic learning experience through the years. LDA's projects won national and international awards and accolades, got published in different magazines, and got us the recognition which we had never imagined. Travels across India and abroad opened new horizons. The events and award functions we attended made a global connect and we made new friends all over. The last 3 decades, with the blessings of our gurus and mentors and the best wishes of our contemporaries and juniors, has been a great journey. Being a part of a profession which gives a huge potential to keep learning and self exploration, one stays a student for life, in our case, happily so.
One part of this video was extraordinarily long, but we had a huge problem selecting projects, and finally we had to cut down to about a few slides, and it's so difficult to sum up what you have done over the last 35 years of your career. It's a very difficult task. So it was very, very difficult to do this, but I am thankful for all of you to bear with us and seeing this video, which was a bit too long, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for always being there with us. It's been a long way, especially since we did not know many people when we came to Pune. And thank you everyone for being a part of this journey. We have our very first clients, Anju and Avinash Moghe here, and who have been a integral part of our lives. We have Vidyut and Makaran Khare, Kanchan, who know us since college days, one of those few people who know you when you were not so good. But yeah, thanks for coming.
I can see one of our very, very close friends, the first friend that we made in Pune, Vikas Apte is over here. Vikas, thank you for coming. And
Thanks, Vikas.
You will all be surprised to know one of my first friend in Pune after going to architect Hari Agashe sir's office was Nitin Tawal. And I think Nitin is here. Nitin, thank you so much. You've been a wonderful friend. And at a time when we came to Pune and we didn't know a single person, you were there. So thanks a lot. I really cherish it.
This was truly inspirational, seeing all the projects over 3 decades. In fact, I am glad to be a part of your life, at least since a decade now. And yes, I mean, truly inspiring. So let's move on to the next set of our questions. Sir, ma'am, we would like to know, after all that you have achieved, you have set a benchmark that only a handful design studios have been able to do. Did this peak look like what you had imagined? Or you never thought of anything like this and it just came to y'all?
Tushar, this has been a journey, just like you are on a path and you do not know with another 10 years where you would be going or where you would be stopping. It has been the same with us. We have just walked on and walked on. And on the way, we have gathered all these things. We were fortunate enough to get good education. We were fortunate enough to, not really have basic problems. So I think coming this far was not so difficult, especially since we believed we would do it or we could do it. Hand in hand, it was done, not with the intention of being till here, But I think we have, rolled the ball little here.
But you must have seen some dreams at the beginning of sometimes dreams, like you mentioned in your earlier talk, that the dream was always to come to a city and earn money. But other than that, as a practice, when you grow, when you peak your practice, had you ever thought of it consciously, or it was probably just a end result of your hard work?
So let me just tell you an anecdote. When we got the Triple ID MK Award in 1998, which we picked up at Worli, the Pineapple Building,
Nehru Center.
Nehru Center. So that time, Ashwin and I, we did not have money for a cab. So we came in a bus. The program began late as usual, and it got over late. We barely grabbed our award. It was by Nitin Kilawala, architect Nitin Kilawala.
Rajesh Patel was the
Rajesh Patel and
president
Nitin.
of Triple ID then.
So it was like a scene straight out of Cinderella. We grabbed our award and we made it for the last bus home. And we had a check of 10,000 rupees in our pocket. We had the award, but we couldn't afford a cab back home. We did not eat there. आईला phone केला मध्ये थांबून booth मधनं telephone booth वरून आई घरी येतोय वरण भात करून ठेव. You know, it was that, but it was easy. I mean, it was not difficult to take cognizance of all these moments, you know. These are the moments that keep you grounded in a way.
Absolutely.
So, answering your question once again is, it was never planned. You know, I did not belong to Pune. My parents were living in Hyderabad. I had come to Bombay. I was staying in a hostel. Other than probably having a vision about the kind of work I wanted to do, work was really well appreciated by the jury when we went for thesis. Charles Correa himself had appreciated the work. Uttam Jain himself had appreciated the work. But it stopped there. There was no charted path. I had no direction. Unfortunately, I never had a guru whose steps I could follow. Never worked with somebody and for a long time. And though we did learn from a lot of people like Chandrasekhar Kanetkar sir, Vishwas Lele sir, Hari Agash sir, but never really worked with anybody for a longer period of time because of the need for money, and had to start off doing something on my own. So did not have that kind of a bearing, but a want to do something which was meaningful was always there. I think that was probably what really made it. The want to do something meaningful and not just be somebody, just one person in the audience or just one person in the crowd. That thing was always very much there. Did not have the means to go beyond, to go out of India to study or anything like that. It was totally something that we couldn't even think of. But the want was always there to do something different. So I think that becomes very, very important. This is for the younger people, whatever background you may be coming from, that thing, that want in you to do something very different and make a name for yourself is something that has to be that. That fire in the belly becomes very important. And as Anju said, we really did not have anything in hand. And when you have nothing to lose, I think one's courage is definitely more. So probably that's the story.
So that brings me to another question. I think this question, yeah, very well said. And this question, I think, is relevant to each and every practice in our city or in our country right now, whether it's a senior practice or a practice who has just begun. Because every time you reach a peak, there is either a fall or there is a flattening of the curve. In your case, we've not witnessed the fall, but has there been a flattening of this curve after you hit the peak? And if yes, how have you dealt with it? Because things are changing every time. There are new design ethos coming to the scenario. The industry is rapidly changing. There are new practices who come with a fresh mindset. So in all this process, how do you keep yourself still relevant?
See, LDA was never about volumes. We have always had a small practice. It has been a small studio, about 10 people maximum. And so it was never about the practice going to 100 people and having to tone it down or anything like that. We have kept a steady number of architects and designers in the office. So there was never, I would never say that there was a peak. The peak was only about the quality of work. It was never about the quantity. It was not that we churned out huge amounts of work. So thankfully, because there was never a peak of that level, there was never a downfall either. It has always been steady. But there has been a consistency in the quality of work. I would like to say that there has been a consistency in the quality of work that we generated. And that is very, very important. I think whether you are a 100 people office or a 5 people office or probably more than that, maintaining a quality, a standard quality of work in each and every project becomes the USP, the thing that one has to look at. That, I think, is what has kept us going on till now, thankfully. That is what has kept us going on.
So
and there
anyway,
are trends.
Tushar,
I'm sure there are different trends in the market. There are the market changes. I can see so many successful architects and designers over here and whose works we definitely learn a lot from them and appreciate as well. And it is something that you have to learn from. And we love to learn from the younger generation. That is something that, if you ask me what keeps us relevant and alive, it is the younger generation and their work which we see, observe and learn from. That is what has kept us going.
Also building a practice which has a school of thought. If you see the older projects and the newer projects, there is a thread that continues through the entire set of projects. So building a school of thought, I think, takes a long time, which by now we seem to have built in a way. And then letting go of that and sticking to some fashionable trend is not our thing. So I don't think we will do that.
So I think discipline is the key.
Discipline is the key, something that you have honed yourself for, something that, practice makes it perfect. And when you practice it so many times and you're reaching perfection where it becomes easier to handle now, that is not the time you give up.
Yeah.
So wonderfully said. What I understand from this is passion, hard work, consistency, creativity, all of this keeps us going. Where would you rank or mark systems and process? Is it important for our field when we talk about creativity, or you think systems and processes kind of restrict creativity? I think this also would be more for the younger practices to understand, because we often come across this, that why do you have to do certain thing in this kind of way, Being in a creative field, you can just do it the other way. So why do you think systems are important if they are?
Systems are, I think, very, very important. Whether you're doing a small project of interior project or a large architectural project, having a system in place is most important. Thinking creatively is one part of it, but design management definitely needs a system. Finally, you have to make your design work. You need to have things in place. You need to generate drawings. You need to generate drawings in the right manner, in the right protocol. And all this needs a system in place. And I'm sure people, friends with larger firms like Sunil Patil, etc., would definitely agree that unless you have a system, it is very difficult to have design development of a project, because there are so many things which are attached to a project. It is not about, I thought about it, but then I don't know how to do it. And which I have seen happen to a lot of design firms, where it just conceptualization. I'm a brilliant architect. I can think about things in the air, but I cannot generate drawings, and I don't know how to get things on site. That doesn't make you a very good architect, because at the end of the day, a system has to be formed to generate the right kinds of design, the right kind of drawings, and to be able to get it executed on site. So it is most important. The scale of the project, the creativity, all these things are important, but systems need to be there. And I am a person who's very, very follows systems. You know me for my OCD. So
I think it's not only me, it is me, Sarang and Ashish, all three of us have seen this. And I think we were on the receiving end most of the times.
oh, in the triple ID team, yes.
No, but every generation has its own reality. It has its own truth. And I think the technology is this generation's truth and reality. So when we were younger, we probably took a bicycle to school and the time factor was more. When my parents walked, they walked to school. The people connect, the time that they took was much more. Then it reduced with a bicycle. And now these people are even faster, you know. So I think they should utilize their time better to put it into a system so that they have a time that is free for thinking.
In fact, that brings me to another question is, how do you adopt to changing technology and the current world around us? Because everybody is now so well informed, whether it is the client or the colleagues in the studio, especially with Instagram and Facebook, everything is at our fingertips. And the world around us is changing. Even while we are talking, probably things are changing around us. How do you keep yourself updated with technology? I know both of you all don't really gel with technology per se in the system of working. But even then, in terms of management, social media, and updating yourself with respect to the clients.
I have a simple answer. I asked Chi about it. So she helps me out.
And I ask my daughter.
Yeah, whenever I have a problem, I ask her. But we are lucky to have a young team of architects and designers in office, and they are the people who look funnily at me when I ask them a foolish question. But I'm thankful that they answer and help me.
That part of it, they pull it through.
We are terrible when it comes to technology. Probably I still draw with a sketch pen and the pencil. So yeah, we are really sad when it comes to technology. The younger people keep on telling us, though, you need to be in sync with what's happening around. But probably the new teams in the office would be able to do that.
Currently no AI in LDA?
Oh, we did a lot of AI for
yes, we had 30-year-old photos.
Finishing the images.
And you know, we look so good in them.
Not our images, the drawing
Some
images.
of our images too. 30 years back,
So there were these old photographs which we found of the thesis, etc. And I looked very sad looking at them, and they looked very yellowed out, dull photographs. So the girls were very fast to scan them and run them through AI and see. They look as if we have just done the model yesterday. So I'm so glad LDA finally adapted to AI, and that was just a couple of days ago.
Amazing.
So we are getting there.
Yeah, you are getting there.
We are getting there, yeah.
So, I would like to go back to the history where idealism has always shaped the outlook of generations. And seekers today become the torchbearers of tomorrow. From the perspective of design practice, who have you idolized or whose work has shaped your thinking?
I think this question is very important because even we at our age and times, we have realized this, that there are many great architects who have shaped probably generations till ours. And after that, when you ask these questions, they are not even known. So Raj Rewal and Kanvinde, I think these names will become extinct in a few years. But I think idealism has been the topmost thing that all architects have always looked up to. So has it been the same in your case?
Yes, I think the younger generation should also find their heroes, to follow in the footsteps of. And for me and Ashwin, it has always been Uttam Jain, Charles Correa, whose work we have really read about, seen in Mumbai, seen it anywhere it has happened. Goa, we've gone and visited it and seen it, felt it, experienced it. And then we formed our own opinion as to why he was our hero. In fact, I remember it was so mesmerizing when Ashwin and I once visited the Nehru Science Center, and there's a square rectangular archway that connects the two buildings. And our man just steps out of the car and he starts walking towards us. And we both of us, we froze.
Whom are you talking? Charles Correa.
Charles Correa, yeah. We just froze, stood right there, and then this is how he looks, was our reaction. We were not working with him. We were not working in his office. We had not met him personally. And to see him standing this close, we just froze.
Yeah, it was for us, it was like seeing God.
So interview that Ashwin took for B.V. Doshi, it was a moment, that is etched in our memories forever. Sitting next to a man who has changed history, who has made history, who has been a role model, who has given purpose to his work. It is just mesmerizing. So I think everybody should find their hero.
And we've been lucky. Our generation has been definitely lucky in having heroes. In having heroes, idolizing them, following their work. And it is very important to do that. And heroes can be different. You can have different heroes for different kinds of projects, for different ideologies of design as well. You don't need to follow just one person. As I said, because we aligned with Charles Correa design ideology, then it definitely felt very close to him and his works. But at the same time, B.V. Doshi was there, Achyut Kanvinde was there, Raj Reval was there, and seeing these people following this, we used to devour books. Devour is the right word, because in those days, books were a rare commodity. I was telling somebody if we wanted a particular book in the library of JJ College of Architecture, we had to apply to the librarian. And that application used to go to the principal. And the principal used to call us in his cabin. And then used to ask us why we need the book. And only then, if we gave a right answer, we would get the book, that too after a couple of months. And we used to be informed that this book has arrived in the library. Knowledge was so scarce. It was so scarce, and at the same time, it was so valuable. Which is why all these works, all these people, we used to read a lot about these architects, Peter Eisenman, and all these architects who did a lot of work abroad. And it was fascinating. Having these kind of idols made a lot of difference, because there was a goal in front of you. Even if you wanted to emulate them, even if you wanted to copy them, it was a huge task. Copying also, it's a huge task. If you do it in the right way, I think it would be flattering to copy a great architect. So we had these idols. Knowledge was not as easily available as it is today on a flick of a finger, and which is why we really valued it a lot. It's very important to have idols, to follow them, and to follow their works, and to imbibe that work.
Absolutely.
So now we know that the masters whom you all idolized, and you all got inspiration from them. We would like to also know the heroes from the current generation, or your contemporaries whose work you all admire.
Yeah, so many of those.
अब आया ऊंट पहाड़ के नीचे.
There's so many of those. As I just said, there are, and you learn from different things from different people. From your generation, we definitely learn how to experiment and how to do different things with some things which we have never dared to do. How to use technology is something that we love to learn from your generation. I have seniors, Sanjeev and Meeta Joshi, we have admired their work for the last so many years. And their free spirit, the way they do their architecture and interiors, at the same time, they have such a lot of time to do other things. The way he paints, the way he works in different medium. I've always told him, and I've told him probably 20 years ago, that one day I want to be like you. I've still not reached even a bit closer. But it has been a dream. So I think you get to learn from everybody. There are so many things to learn. Lots of things to learn, and I think it's our responsibility, I think that's something we should do, and not be complacent and closeted. Learning from the younger generation as well as your contemporaries and seniors is something that is the only thing that will take you ahead.
See, I don't think you are getting any names.
No, I took his name, and there are so many. There's so
really
many.
are.
I would probably, if I start going from right to left, there would be so many. Probably each and every person has taught me something at some point of time.
So you can name a few from the younger generation.
Tushar, Chiranjeevi,
Bas.
Sarah,
Let's stop.
Ashish. And, each and every row, there's so many of those.
Cool.
True. We really find the work-life balance that Mita and Sanjeev, live by. Somehow we want to reach there. I don't know how yet. I still have that restlessness in me, which I think should. I don't know when it's going to go away, but still. Then I've always admired the scale with which Sunil Patil works. It's phenomenal. Hemant, what rooted work. I mean, it's really wonderful. He is handling 100 people firm. So, everybody...
Handling 100 people firm and handling government as well. That is the most important part. I get jittery even if a government officer comes to my place to do his residential interiors. And you're handling their large projects. So definitely kudos to you. Hats off.
All of you into practice have your own strengths, It's amazing how you do it. It's really amazing.
So that actually also brings us to this question of the Gen Z. I know recently all of us, wherever we meet, wherever we discuss, there has been a lot of buzz about it. But let's look at it from a very different perspective. They come with certain energy, they come with certain skill sets. They have nothing to fear. I think what they have, probably their seniors or all of us or even your generation didn't have. The kind of confidence that they come with. So in your opinion, what kind of an advice you would like to give these young kids, fresh pass-outs, stepping into the field of architecture and design, on the way and the life ahead?
From my side, I want to say one thing, at least to the youngsters sitting here. Look at any image for at least 10 to 15 seconds before you form an opinion. Please do that.
Yeah, this is the
Don't
problem.
Scroll. There is so much in that image that you're seeing, memorizing, and there's so much learning in that image. Don't scroll through. Just look at it at least for 10 to 15. I know you don't read books. It's okay. But some 15 seconds that image deserves. Do that, please.
Yeah, advice, I don't know. We've been observing there for the last so many years, and now the Gen Z is our daughter's age, and we are dealing with that generation in the office as well as at home. So we know what it takes to deal with them, but I think they are definitely highly talented, and I can speak for them because the way they have come up with this presentation over the last few days and the dedication that they have shown has been excellent. So when they want to do it, they can. But when they want to do it is the underlying
Absolutely.
thing.
They're very, very
When they
smart.
want to do it is the most difficult part of it. And I would say the same thing about my daughter as well. Till the point that she doesn't get pushed into a corner, she won't deliver. But when she delivers, it will be world class. And she's showing that in her career. So probably that's a personality trait. But I can put it as a blanket thing for the generation that they are very talented, they're technologically excellent, they're very, very talented on that front, but a little more concentration, a little more consistency in the work is what will help them go places and leaps and bounds. So that is very much required, and I hope if there are anybody from the Gen Z, they take it in the right and positive manner.
Oh, absolutely, because this generation is really, really smart. They're fast, they're smart, they're confident, and they're the way ahead. They're really way ahead.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's shift the gears from the long, thoughtful reflections to quick one-liners, which you both as individuals have to answer. Let's begin with a few questions then.
One line.
Yeah, one-liner.
One line.
One
And
line.
both of you all have to answer.
Ashwin sir, one liner bold मध्ये सांगतोय.
Okay, thank you.
So, what leadership lessons took you the longest to learn?
Patience.
How about you, ma'am?
Fast answer.
This can't be that fast for me. I have to think. No, because I don't lead by, I take people along. My girls also will agree. Whenever I lead, I take everybody along. It's my personality trait.
Okay. One quality in your partner you deeply admire.
Patience again.
Oh, I admire Ashwin's willpower. It just beats me how he gets up every day and does the same thing all over again with same integrity and, in the best possible way. It just beats me.
Wow. So you can answer the next one only if patience is not the answer. What change would you like to see in each other as partners? So please don't say patience is the change now that you would like to see.
What would you like to see
As a change
in her?
in her.
Oh my God. No, I would not have like anything to change in her. I mean,
Wow.
so many years of togetherness. If she changes, I won't be able to.
Sir, I have a long list about Tushar. How can it just be like nothing
Wait for
absolutely?
10 more years. Wait for 10 more years. You really start appreciating the bad parts also. So
Ma'am,
No,
you
I have
to
something.
that's
tell
where
me
we
the
are.
truth.
That's very.
He has a quick temper. And I think he should think before he gets angry, but then that's not happening because it hasn't happened for the last 40 years.
Yeah, you can't change DNA, so that's not happening.
So you mean he should have more patience?
Yeah,
Yes,
You can't
patience
change
is the key
DNA.
again.
DNA can't be changed. So then it's better we are the way we are.
So the next one is a hypothetical answer that I want from y'all. If your practice looks like a building, which one would that be?
Oh,
Or a typology?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, mine would be
Probably-
very organic, very low-key actually. Very low-key and very organic.
And mine would be totally opposite. It would be very structured, very straight, neat box-like, a proper Tadawando structure
Okay, wow.
is what my practice would be.
Minimalist.
Very minimalist, very clean, very defined, very, very defined.
Okay, wonderful. The next one. In your next life, would you all again want to be architects or something else?
Oh no!
I mean,
would
how
like to
much do you love the
I would
profession?
like to be something else because I have explored as much as my capacity is, and I would like to do filmmaking. I would like to explore photography. I would like to explore the art media, the visual medium more.
Okay,
Next
but that's
life.
still okay. Creativity is what you wouldn't like to leave. The art form of
Yes, creativity is what. But then there are something that I've not done yet is filmmaking, writing stories, making films. I do it in my dreams. I do it sometimes, in a random way where I feel like I've done it, but I've never really done it.
So how about you?
I don't think I can do anything else other than architecture. So I think in the best and worst of my dreams, I would still be an architect, but probably a musician as well. And that was something that I've always wanted to be, but never really got to do that. And thankfully, Kushi is, fulfilling that dream for me.
Absolutely. And
But
she's doing
if
wonderful.
if not an architect, I would definitely have wanted to be a musician.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
but you ask me in the worst and best of my dreams, I'm very, very happy being an architect and would still want to do that.
Okay. So actually, you've partially answered my next question, but let me still tell you that's the last one, not the least one. But don't take it like a question. It's the difference between going home happy or going home explaining each other that why did you answer this? And my question is, What's your first love? Architecture or each other?
Each other, definitely.
Each other. I mean, architecture can wait, yeah?
I mean, our architecture has been a result of being together. And
Okay, wonderful.
It's definitely a result of being together and working together.
Now, from
So
the
well.
long answers to the quick answers, now we'll open it up in a way that you just have to answer in one single word, or you can just probably point out at each other.
Yeah, let's do it that way. No answers, just point out either at yourself or each other.
Who is most stubborn? Who apologizes first? Should I?
How's that possible?
Excuse me. Now, this a third
Of
person
course.
answer, please. A third person who knows us well, please get up and answer this one.
Need Khushi here.
There is a tie.
Need Khushi here.
Who handles finances better? Who is stricter with the staff? Should the staff answer this?
No doubt.
Who gets more emotionally attached to the project?
So we both do.
Who takes the bigger design decisions?
I don't know. Probably me.
Who
There's
pushes
the cross.
who pushes deadlines faster?
That's a perfect partnership then.
This one is interesting. Who secretly enjoys saying, "I told you this"?
Oh, I do. All wives do.
Who talks more?
What question was that?
No, it depends where.
We had to tell
Yeah,
him these
who
are
depends
one-liners.
It depends where. Who talks more? Depends where.
Depends where.
Yeah. So I think it's different when you're in the office and when you're at home. I'm a totally introvert when I'm at home. That's what they say. So it's very different.
And you want me to believe it.
You ask her.
Cool. So this brings us to the point before we move to the last AV. Any questions from the audience? We still have 5 odd minutes. Anything that you all have?
Yeah, next
Yeah.
AV would be a fun AV, which is the other side of LDA.
Ashwin, it was really good to know a lot of things today about you and Anjali. And we also came to know that in your office, there are always girls.
Yes.
Right?
Why are you jealous?
No, why are you so,
The
why are you
next
so
AV,
dangerous?
the next AV
why are you
answers that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So
Now
why
this
are-
question I can answer.
Why
I can
are you
hear very,
so
very clearly.
Gender bias. Isn't it injustice to boys as well as to Anjali?
No, it's well, it could be an injustice to boys, but info is it's good for the boys that they don't come and work with us because my patience with them is very bad. We tried having a few boys recently because Anju said girls give the same kind of reasons for not coming to office every day. Let's have a different set of reasons. That was her take on it, but the boys didn't survive. They left in 6 months' time. So LDA definitely doesn't work with boys. There've always been only 3 boys: me, my dog, and the office boy. The dog unfortunately passed away. Now there are only 2
Yeah,
boys, me and my office boy.
Sunil, it takes that much time to train them, you know.
Yeah.
Boys.
There's a question.
Hello, Ashwin.
Oh yes. There.
Actually,
One of my closest friends.
basically,
वाह्यातपणा करू नको.
When you begin with a basically,
okay. So after listening your interview, your logic is matching, your design taste is matching, principles are matching. Then why do you require table for fighting in your office? You have wasted the space.
Pite, that is to arrive at a solution where it is matching. To arrive at that solution, you need to fight.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Got it.
That is very much required.
Okay.
To arrive at that solution where
Still-
all of you feel, "Arey, what a nice jodi this is," and they are so much in love with each other and they are coming out with wonderful projects. To come to that kind of thing, you need to fight.
Still you have wasted the space.
Sorry?
Still, you have wasted the space in your office.
No, it's not wasted. It's very much put to use.
It's the boundary that we have kept between his workspace and my workspace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we are good.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
I
yes.
just
Anil.
have to say something. Apart from all the questions I think Tushar and Chi has asked, I would really like to appreciate Ashwin and Anju. Whenever there are any issues or anything, any advice I require, I just give a call to Ashwin and he is just a call away. Immediately within an hour, he'll reply back. I mean, we must give a big round of applause to Ashwin for that.
Thank you so much, Anil. It's always a
I'm
pleasure.
hoping that he'll
Always a
answer my
pleasure.
call too within the next hour. I'm going to remember this now.
You don't be jealous.
No. Anil had said that he had come to ask for advice. You never ask for advice, so. Sorry? Yes.
No, but actually, sharing all the knowledge brings us together, and it also makes things better, in a way. Sometimes your perspective changes. Sometimes it just helps to know another person's perspective. In fact, I can tell you, when we were doing our new office, Sanjeev walked into our office. We were at a crossroad about what to do and how to look at it. Sanjeev walked into our office. He stood there for a minute, looked everywhere and said, "Bring down all the walls." And everything was done. And this man walks there and he says, "Bring down all the walls." We went home nervous, and looked at each other. Everything is done. It's an office waiting to get
So we had
occupied.
actually done that office for another friend of ours, and it was his bungalow which we had temporarily converted into an office. And they left, and we got that office to use as our own. And that office was totally compartmentalized. It was because of the hierarchy that they needed in their office. There were many cabins. Even our place where we sit just now had 2 cabins, which would have been a natural choice, her to sit in one cabin and me to sit in another cabin. And it was a very closed-in office.
Yeah, there was claustrophobia.
It
there,
was
I
very
agree.
claustrophobic.
So he
but
walks
it
in and he
worked
says,
for them. And
yeah.
then that was when he came in and he said, "Open it up. And this is not what you should
Free
be
your
having."
mind and bring down the walls. And that's what we did.
So there is a big, in font size 72, this size, there is a saying over there, "Open it up and with your name below." Yeah.
Great. I think on this note, we can move to the last AV. And after that AV, I think there would be no questions asked. That summarizes everything. So can we have the AV, please?
From an 18-year-old girl who knew nothing about architecture or design to bagging many major national and international awards, life did come a long way. Over 3 decades of LDA has been an enriching experience. Our 3-legged race stood the test of time, still running, falling, bending down to pick up the other, and starting all over again. LDA was never about numbers or mass production. It was built on the foundation of sharing knowledge and intent to be meaningful, nurturing the values alongside the disciplined practice and hard work. What began as an all-girls office to give a safe and equal work opportunity to young women designers has mentored many of them over the years. LDA has tried to inculcate strong work ethics, instill independent thinking, and work confidence into these young women. As a woman, I have seen the family pressures and responsibilities our society generates for working women. It is fulfilling to see some of them overcome these hurdles and continue working in their best capacity. Working hard, partying harder, celebrating festivals, birthdays, and awards makes life at LDA enjoyable. LDA has always worked like a family, with my role as fill in the blank as required. By virtue of my feminine side, I became the go-to person for everyone when needed, to soften the hard hitting by our taskmaster Ashwin Lovekar. The painters, the carpenters, the vendors and engineers always look up to me as their very dependable buffer, Didi, Bhabhi, Madam, in situations where shielding is required. Having always been the softer and human side of LDA, I believe for many there has been a learning other than architecture. How you lead, how you handle stress, and how you show up on hard days. Keep going is the mantra which I have followed and continue to do so. We danced through life. We danced amongst the stars that night when joy had fallen far from sight. We danced under the sun so bright, and when all seemed lost, we held on tight. We danced to the music of humming birds, and we danced in the silence where there were no words. We danced in the shadows of fear and doubt, and we danced when we questioned what life's about. We danced amongst the evergreens that posed for painters' winter scenes. We danced in the winter's bitter chill, and when we danced, our world stood still. But that's what love was meant to be, to find the dance when we cannot see, to write a new song when the music stops, with lyrics that caress every tear that drops. For when the rhythm changes and tempo slowed, we are called to dance with the seeds we sowed. For life is hard, there is no doubt, but dancing through it is what life's about.
Architect Sanjeev Joshi sir and Architect Meeta Joshi ma'am to come on the stage to felicitate our guest of honor, Architect Anjali Lovekar and Architect Ashwin Lovekar. Ma'am and sir, please join us. At the citations.
Being felicitated by this couple whom we have been admiring ever since we met way back in 1998, who've been senior to us and almost the same kind of a journey that they have had. So it is really very endearing to us. Thank you, Sanjeev, Meeta. We will remember this day all our lives.